Hello, it's me, Polish Paul VR, and today we're gonna talk about newly announced game Theseus. I know it sounds like I'm saying Thesis. We're gonna talk about the mixed camera system which the developers implemented in this game, and it's quite interesting thing to know about, I suppose I can say that. And also, I wouldn't be Polish Ball VR if I didn't show you any extra footage, which you cannot find in the trailers. It's not a lot, don't expect much, but it's few clips. Let me tell you how the mixed camera system for this game come to life. Because when developers started to making this game first, they wanted it to be first person, but then they realized that the first person mode won't allow them to show you the game how they wanted to, the vision they created. That's why they decided to switch to the fixed camera system. And they saying, a lot of inspiration for it comes from old horror games like Resident Evil or Alone in the Dark. The game series was great and now become bit not so great, shall I say. But also, apart from having that fixed camera system, they wanted it to be like an emotional cinematic experience. So fixed camera couldn't allow it. That's why they developed, follow camera. But obviously they have to adopt this follow camera to VR. So without me chatting too much crap, let's begin and start talking about the camera system. So they saying with fixed cameras, it's with wider angle of them, it's easier to find character in the battles, and also it helps them to show off their beautifully designed environments, from the angles they want. But that fixed camera system in VR had few challenges. So as you know, in normal games, the fixed cameras are just fixed, and they show new action, they can move a bit around. But in VR, we've got our heads attached to our necks, and our necks allowed us to move our heads. So they have to think about the system. So they had to think about the system which gonna take, players' head position in mind when switching cameras, from cameras to camera. Because if the cameras was positioned wrong, you won't be able to see your character. So that's how it looks like when it works properly. So they worked out that camera system pretty well, and obviously it had its challenges like motion sickness, which is the main thing in VR where a lot of people complains about. I'm alright with it, but some people do struggle a bit. So what they did, they slowed down the camera movement, of course, but also they did slow down the character movement itself when the camera is switching from fixed camera to motion camera. And also, to switch from your head placed fixed camera, shall I say, they have to do specific level design so it's all smooth. And they make so by encouraging the player to actually position its head in the right position. Very clever. And that's the another clip, what you cannot see in the trailer, and that's how it looks like in action. So in the smart ways, they managed to achieve, the third-person experience in VR, which wasn't as straightforward to do as in normal games, but they worked around it beautifully, and they created a great-looking game. So well done to developers. And let me just put quick note about the UI systems because they spoke about it in their blog article as well. By the way, link is in description. So they had to do like they couldn't work out should they do in head space text, which is basically when the text is always in front of your eyes, or should they do it like environmental text when it just plonked somewhere on a wall or floor or tree or whatever. And with that headspace system, they noticed they cannot put too much text. They put in it a bit lower, and they found that players might struggle to read it, especially if there is more than one line. But what they did as well, they like implemented mixed system in this UI as well, because in your headspace you only gonna see your hints and shit, and in the word space, it will be your story, how the story progresses. So that's it from me. I'm gonna try today, if I got time, to put up Twitter account for the channel finally, because I'm not on any social media, and if I want to grow it, apart from my like real life Facebook, so in order to grow it, I need to actually do something about it, and I'm gonna make myself Twitter account. Never used Twitter once in my life, so if I mess something up, don't laugh at me. And I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope you found some good info, about the game. And that's it from me. If you like it, then hit like and subscribe, and I'll be back.